How was your day today, Z?
It's gonna be stressful soon.
But it's okay. You're okay.
Will I though?
It's
Yeah, I'll
like
be
a
okay.
conversation.
I met a white guy more Filipino than me, so I'm fine.
Me too.
Aloha, kākou. Welcome to Two Profs and a Brew. Today we're doing some things different. First of all, different type of brew today because
It's coffee.
Thank you. It's coffee. Just to make it obvious, right? It's coffee,
Yeah.
not the other kind of brew.
Not the other kind of brew, no.
And the other thing is it's more than just Two Profs and a Brew. Today we have a couple of guests with us. Right? There are actually people out there in the world who believe that these are our actual daughters.
Yeah,
think
they
we
do.
bother
Many people
connecting.
got confused.
But that's okay. We're just going to roll with that.
They are our academic daughters nonetheless, yeah.
That is true. And we are on location at the APS Plant Health in
Yeah.
Memphis, Tennessee. Are we going to say Tennessee? Okay.
Tennessee, yeah. Memphis.
Yeah. Okay, so let's let them introduce themselves.
Hello, my name is Zhiandris Abes. I'm one of the adopted daughters, or maybe official daughters. And I am currently a liberal arts major going into my sophomore year at Leeward Community College.
Hi everyone, my name is Eiren. I'm a recent grad from Leeward Community College. I was majoring in natural science, biological science. Now I'm at the University of Hawaii at Manoa. I'm majoring in molecular and cell biology and minoring in psychology.
Excellent, wonderful. Thank you for joining for us. All right, thank you taking the courage to do this. Kind of as a funny aside, someone gave this really interesting talk on how they taught plant pathology to prisoners in an actual prison.
Yeah.
And the prisoners said that they walk around with murderers and thieves all day long, but nothing gives them more anxiety than being in a classroom, right? And so we understand. So thank you for being brave and stepping up and doing this. One of the things that Kabi and I do is we are PIs of a PaCoN grant at Leeward Community College, right? Maybe Kabi, you can tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, and PaCoN stands for Pacific Continental Network. On the Pacific side, we have University of Hawaii at Manoa and Leeward Community College. On the continental side, we have Oklahoma State University. Together, these three institutions, our goal of the program is to foster undergraduate students as well as graduate students all the way to PhD level to create a workforce for food biosecurity field. So we want to create a large workforce trained in food biosecurity.
Yeah, and so that's what brings us to this APS meeting, Plant Health. It's the largest meeting, as far as I know, for plant pathologists in the United States. Am I saying?
Yeah, that's
No one's going to
true.
fact check
Yeah.
me, so
Yeah.
I think that's okay, right?
No, it is. It's a plant health. They are trying to morph into plant health concept and plant pathology concept because plant health involves. It's a much bigger area than just pathology, but pathology is the main thing.
It's certainly a big part, right?
Big
and of
part,
course,
yeah.
the health of our plants is so important in
That's our health.
having a sustainable future for sure,
Yeah,
right?
sure.
Right, for our kids and our kids' kids.
Yeah, and of course, for them, right? So, their education, their health, because we're gonna be gone pretty soon, but they will have to take up the responsibility, right, Aaron?
I agree.
Yeah.
So, with that said, then coming to APS is a very professional meeting, with a bunch of scientists and stuff like that. Prior to coming to the APS, what were your expectations of a meeting like this? What did you think a meeting like this was going to be like?
Well, since this is my first official conference, especially scientific, I was actually pretty nervous. I didn't really know what to expect, but at the same time was expecting a lot of things. I'm going to be around a bunch of graduate students, people who are, getting their PhDs, a lot of very smart people. So I kind of felt inferior in a way, but being able to connect with those people, actually talk with those people, I was able to understand their personalities more. And I love that I was just able to connect and network with multiple professionals from different like networks and careers.
How about you, Aaron?
Before coming into this conference, I learned that it's more graduate student dominated. So I guess I was under the impression that we wouldn't have as much opportunities for undergrads. And I was also expecting a lot more like, I don't know, like when I think of grad students, like they're more formal in a way, like very intense environment, a lot of intimidation maybe.
Yeah. And then, what did you do here? Did you, of course, you came here and talk about, how did you do your presentation? What was your topic like? How did you feel about it? How do you feel about it?
Actually, so I guess to just like revert back to that previous question, like to compare like now. So as I was mentioning, my expectations was I thought I would be coming in here timid, but when I walked into the doors of the Renaissance Convention Center, I was like, wow, everyone is so chill. What? That's so crazy.
I think it's the air conditioning here, right?
That too. But everyone was just, I don't know, it felt more like a more welcoming environment rather than like a very intimidating environment. And in terms of what I did, I actually presented my poster. So what I did during my whole spring and summer semester, I was just investigating and trying to characterize Pectobacterium brasiliense. We actually didn't know that my mysterious pathogen was Pectobacterium brasiliense, but I was just trying to investigate the relationship between soft rot and P. brasiliense in daikon radish through Koch's postulate.
And
Yeah.
since you're chatting, you've had an opportunity to go to a national conference prior to this, right? The National Diversity in STEM conference. Maybe compare and contrast a little bit of the experiences.
So the SACNIS conference that I went to last year in Portland was, I guess the biggest difference was that the one in Portland, it was geared towards undergrads. Over here, it's more so graduate students or PhD students, researchers, someone looking to go into the industry. But yeah, I feel like both environments were very similar. Everyone just wanted to network, make new friends. Yeah, nothing too major, just like I guess the age group. But overall, really good experience
older
for
over
both.
here.
Very good, but sometimes you think, like some adults, they're very like childlike, so it's like fun. So just like you two.
Not naming names.
That's true, yeah.
But yeah.
And how about you, Zhiandris? So what was your take like? So what did you work on? What is your experience like so far?
Well, my experience kind of similar to Aaron. Well, I didn't attend anything beforehand, but my project was about methotrophs, more specifically dealing with native Hawaiian plants. And just that whole thing, I guess like listening to these other sessions from these other career professionals and experts, they talked about like a lot of skills and things you need in order to probably go into that field. So I was just keeping like an open mind. But at the same time, I noticed while I was working on or looking back onto my project, like that whole year of just like, gel electrophoresis, the trauma. But all the samples and making my hands jitter. But I was able to see that a lot of the skills that I've learned in lab, although I didn't take a lecture or an official lab lecture yet, or just lab in general, I was able to apply my skills and foresee what I would probably do in the future if I were to go into those careers. So it's just thinking past, thinking present, how I can apply, and how I could better my chances and so forth.
Can I add something?
Sure.
Sorry.
Sure.
I don't know how quick I was, but I would also like to know, through the workshops and the sessions that we've been going to, I've noticed that we've been talking a lot about like problems, and I think it's super interesting. Like, I don't want to say real life problems. I don't want because I think the problems that I was learning about at Portland was also like real life problems. But I feel like over here it was more in depth, and I was able to just like watch everyone interact and bring up these issues that's like happening around the globe, basically. And it's just very. I think it's a really valuable experience because you just like never think about these problems a lot and like how in depth they go through it. So I think that's one of my favorite parts of this conference, just being able to see, like, go in depth in like, well, in this case, plant pathology and like all the problems surrounding plants and our food systems and stuff like that.
So you have been with us for over a year now, doing hands-on research. So you probably did not know about the PaCoN program before. So how did you join the PaCoN program, and what has your experience been like of that program?
So, I first heard about PaCoN summer 2023 when I was just finishing up my summer research with my partner Gabe, and then Dr. K came up to me and he was like, "Do you want free money? Do you want your tuition paid?" And I was like, "Sure," because I don't know how I'd pay my tuition. And so I just went into it. I was unsure, but I'm really glad I joined PaCoN because of the money, and I made new friends. So that was really, I think it's a really good opportunity if whoever's over there on the other side of this screen, if you're thinking about joining PaCoN, you should do it.
Did you know that Dr. K is so good at spotting the talent beforehand and going to the students and asking them, "Hey, join this program"?
Wait, I'm talent? That's so crazy. That's so crazy.
They're all talents.
You didn't think that you had talent?
No, honestly, I think after my papaya research, I was like, oh man, Dr. K is gonna hate me.
Impossible. Impossible. And so, Zhiandris, I know your path to PaCoN was quite similar as your
Yeah.
mom, who says, "I don't want to pay your tuition, so you should join this program." Right? But what are some of the things that you gained from this experience? And you still got another year with us, right? And so what are some of the things that you hope to grow into as you continue on in the program?
Well, kind of reminiscing about the past, I joined with kind of as like a guinea pig because Dr. K, because similar to Eiren, he was like, "You want money?" I was like, "Sure." And just like the whole experience overall with PaCoN itself as like kind of one of its like quote unquote founding members in a way, or like guinea pig members, I was able to see PaCoN grow and honestly just would tear up. But it honestly makes my heart like very full. And to see like the numbers like grow and grow, because Dr. K and Dr. Napane had, especially Ashley, who's unfortunately not here with us, had to like really market it out there. I mean, they still kind of do, but we went from like a little class of students in PaCoN to like a full class, and now I heard from Dr. Nupane and Dr. K's side that we actually have to like kind of cut back a bit. They're being selective, but I'm like really happy. But throughout PaCoN, I was able to learn about more experiences, not only through like plant pathology and stuff, because my original major, I wanted to be in forensics and criminology. But ever since joining PaCoN, it really broadened my insight and future career paths as to what I could actually do. It's not limited to one thing, because us Filipinos, me and Eiren, from like a young age, you're like, no, you have to be a doctor, you have to be a lawyer, anything that's high money, because that's kind of what they want good for us, and they just want us to have like good experiences, but those fields might not necessarily be like what we're passionate about. So I'm just glad that PaCoN is able to provide us with the opportunities of seeing more careers, meeting with more professionals, and just Overall, I love it, and I want to be in it like probably forever. But yeah.
So, food biosecurity is a big theme. You may have noticed that throughout the conference. And PaCoN focuses on food biosecurity, and people are saying there are a lot of jobs, etc. So, what kind of new insights did you gain about food biosecurity and potential job opportunities?
Honestly, I thought, well, dealing with PaCoN, I thought it was just a bunch of scientists in their little labs, like lab rats, like hermits. I mean, I kind of am the same, but I found out recently that they actually deal with the government and stuff like that. So for like government forces, there's also FBI for something like that. But
Microbial forensics.
microbial forensics, yes. And that kind of sparked like a little light in me that I want to research further. And that was like one of the things, but I'll get back to you probably on that one. But that job was definitely like one of the highlights out of like all the sessions I've attended so far.
So, how about you, Eiren?
There was this really cool place that I learned about, Fort Detrick, and it's basically they have a lab there where they can just bring in any type of like diseases to study on plants, and I thought that was the coolest thing ever. Like imagine that. Imagine we can bring any disease to our lab and just research on it. That would be crazy.
Well, we do not want to bring disease to all these labs too, so it could be scary. So that's why they got Fort Detrick, right? So.
That's what makes it cooler.
Yeah.
That's what makes it 10 times cooler.
The risk of
Yeah.
bringing it in.
Perhaps we could send you to Fort Detrick to study or to do some research over there. How about that one?
That would be really cool, honestly. I think I would really enjoy that opportunity.
Yes, actually, I was talking to him yesterday about trying to see if get internships. He says, "Oh yeah, plenty of internships." He goes, "Oh yeah, will you pay for the housing and ship them over?" He's like, "Not really." So we'll work on that second part. Right? Another thing about conferences, of course, we come here to meet, network, kind of try to build our professional group and get some more opportunities for the students that weren't able to come here. Right? But like everything, work-life balance, right? We do try to find some time to have some fun and things like that. And so Memphis